What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about CleanSpark today at the request of WLX The Earth. We're talking about this one for you, my friend. I've got the music playing in the background just for the introduction. If you guys haven't hit the like button already, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. I very much do appreciate all of you. We're going to pause the music now and get into this video on the technical analysis side. So looking at the weekly here, you're up 0.17% after your first day. Good job. I do, one of you, I forget who it was asking if I still expect prices to go back down below $12, and the answer is yes. I very much do. I think that we will at least interact with this line before continuing to go higher. That's my thoughts. We've done it every time before, and just because we've done that doesn't mean we have to, but it's been very constructive. This is kind of the personality of CleanSpark, right? Is find your high, break above your high, find support where you found, and I say high, it's the weekly closing high of these candles. Find support there, and then continue higher. Find support on your previous weekly closing high right there, and then boom, continue higher. So I think you're going to do that. I think that's where you're going to go. Until then, you're moving sideways and or down. I was a little bit skeptical to say that you could go up to like your $30, maybe even high 20s range before last week, but I think it's inevitable at this point. I don't think that we're going higher in the more immediate terms. I think we have lower to go. A little bit of a double top on your weekly RSI. Looks like it wants to go down. If we're looking at the daily here, daily RSI looks a bit bearish as well, I would say. Flat bottom with descending highs, not a good look. We absolutely could this week see prices all the way back up at like $20 or $18. We're pretty close to 18 already, but $20. But inevitably, I think we will go down at least to 11.89, but I would expect a little bit lower. We could go all the way down. I say 11.89, but we could go down to 10.46. We could go down to $9. Like anything and everything in between is totally possible. If we look at the relative fib from a low to a high point, 10.52, 9.58, that's your golden ratio area, and the 7.86 and the 8.86 are potential targets as well. So prices below $10 are absolutely not off the table, but first let's look at prices around 11.89 or around there, but to the downside. That's all I got. I think CleanSpark has a lot in store for the rest of the cycle, you guys. I think it's going to do phenomenal. I really do expect prices to not just hit $100, but break $100. And we could very well see prices all the way up at $307. I know that might sound crazy to some people, but this thing's market cap right now is worth $3.46 billion right now. Let's call it 3.5 to make it easy, okay? 3.5. Get it on the right one here. All the way up at this 1618, the golden extension. So 3.5, doing a 17.7x. That would be essentially like a $52 billion market cap, 52 to 54 billion or something like that. That's an achievable market cap for something like this. I think so. Especially if they're, up and coming, becoming one of the bigger miners. I think last cycle we saw Marathon and Riot achieve market caps of like 20 billion or 12 billion or something like that. And I would think that Marathon this cycle will be the first crypto miner to break 100 billion. So seeing something at around half that I think is more than achievable, especially for CleanSpark with this phenomenal looking bottom, man. This is a Adam and Eve pattern to its core. Absolutely it is. It could even be an Adam and Adam, but I think it might be an Adam and Eve. I don't know. That's not, that's it could be an Adam and Adam. Adam and Adam is more bullish than an Adam and Eve, but they're both bullish nonetheless. We haven't even broken this yet, you guys. Haven't even broken that. And that would be there. That's like your breaking point. Technically, the way you would do this pattern would be from the bottom to the top, but I am going to put it here as a more conservative target. If we break this, that puts you all the way up at $948. CleanSpark could be worth over $100 billion by the end of this cycle. You don't know. You really don't know. None of us know. But right now, I'm calling for prices to be above $100, potentially between $100 and $300. Absolutely, this thing could go to $1,000. That would be an insane market cap growth. It really would be. But that's what the measure move calls for. And maybe it looks like an Adam and Eve, and just because the measure moves up here does not mean you have to hit it. That's all I'm trying to say, right? And this is a conservative measure move technically, because you're supposed to take it from the actual low to high, and then your breakout point would actually be up here, and that'd put you all the way up at $1,800. But I think it's already ridiculous enough at $900. So for now, let's stay level-headed. I know it seems crazy still, but let's stay level-headed at $100 to $300. That's where I think it's going by the end of the cycle. In the more immediate terms, pulling back, very much so. Yeah, you've got these higher lows coming up here. You're probably going to come back down to this line and then find support and then move up. I mean, that's at like 1130 right there. Who knows? I'm at least expecting 1189. But anyways, that's all I got. Before I keep rambling, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I very much appreciate all of you for coming. Let me know what you think, man, about the all-time high targets. Do you think that they're too conservative? They're too bullish? Are we going to have a lower high? You know, is there something that I'm missing about CleanSpark that hinders it or promotes it to do better or worse than I've given it credit for? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. If you have any information, any input, man, I very much appreciate it. There are some people who write detailed comments that kind of explain things more in depth about like the fundamentals of coins, of stocks, of whatever, and I personally appreciate that when you guys share your information. I never take anyone's information online, as you shouldn't with mine either, completely 100% like as it is. I like to look into it myself, but there's a good bit of things that you guys have actually like brought to my attention that I had no idea about before until I read your comments. So you guys know who you are. I always say thank you for your input. If I ever say thank you for your input or I appreciate your input, like that's me saying I found this interesting. I didn't know this before. Thank you for sharing that so that, you know, I'm a little bit more educated myself. So anyways, appreciate all of you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.